Leave you laid out on the floor, try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports.
Yo, big shout out to the house chat and MF game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS is about to drop some required reading as to the significance, okay? The significance of Crawford's walkout. But first and foremost, let me get through the intro. Okay? It's always shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. Okay? No negotiations needed. Just like no negotiations needed to basically validate who's the best right now. Who's pretty much the best in the game when it comes to boxing. The good part about this whole situation that went down on September 13th is it's been strictly Crawford and people trying to insert David Benavidez into the conversation as if it's relevant. And we expect that. We expect people to quickly try to expunge what we just witnessed on the 13th of September, but it's not going to go away quite that easy. Why? Because individuals like myself is going to celebrate this long-winded. We're not going to just wait till we get up to this point and all the naysayers and everybody who figured they thought they had it all figured out. You know what I'm saying? They gave their predictions. And look, I don't take it personal, but I have too many people taking it personal with me. You know, how long have I been a pro Crawford fan? So why would you block me? If you knew what the results were, you can't take it. Who said I was going to come over there and rub it in your face? It's been a lot of people. I haven't jumped on their panel. I mean, really rubbed it down. But when I'm on my panel, I'm definitely going to allow you to understand what reflection means. I'm going to remind you that you all were not just critics, but y'all was creators. You all created the hate. You couldn't find something that was out there in the sport of boxing and talk about Crawford on a regularity that enhanced his boxing legacy. So you had to create. That's all. You had to create, and you still couldn't stop him. Let me show you something that looks sweet. Let me show you something that looks sweet right here from the ring. Starting from the top, and we still here. Terence Crawford, pound for pound rankings per the ring. Terence Crawford, yo. It's no in between shoulder bumping, elbow rubbing. Terence Crawford stands alone. Sir Crawford stands alone at the top of the echelon of pound for pound elites. This is the top percentage of fighters in the world, not just in Omaha, not just in Vegas, not just in boxing on a regional level. This is the world. The other 9, with respect to Alexander Usyk, the other 9, they are, you know what I'm saying, recognized. I mean, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm not disrespecting them at all. But I'm just looking at it like Terence Crawford's number 1 on the ring and Canelo Alvarez is number 10. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Alexander Usyk is in his rightful position at numero dos. And then everybody else falls, where they lie. Bivol still is up there coming off, his win over Bellabiv. But the one I'm focused is the one on the red, pound for pound rankings. Congratulations and salute to Team Crawford for always staying locked in and calibrated. Always staying the course. Putting your minds together, taking the time to do film study. There have those who have selected to convince us that they was in the same position as a Brian Bomack, as a Red Spike, Esau, Bernie, the boxer. They have portrayed as if they was in the same position as, professional trainers and so forth. But when they get together to come up with the curriculum, to come up with the strategy, to basically convince us that one set of eyes is better than one. I mean, two set of eyes is better than one. Three set of eyes is better than one. Four set of eyes is better than one. When they start to put their thoughts together and it plays out in front of us, it's a beautiful, I'm talking about beautiful stage play. To see the performance value, to understand that you was old enough to be a part of this history, whether you was on the side of Terence Bud Crawford or you was on the side of Canelo Alvarez. This is one of the most entertaining fights when it comes to the elite, when it comes to 2 pound for pound fighters, when it came to the point of Crawford challenging 2 divisions higher. This is one of the best in the last 20. I mean, this right here was unbelievable. Crawford entered the pound for pound list, and when has he dropped below the top 5? When has he dropped below the top 5? When has he left? When has he left the pound for pound list? Somebody help me out. I just need to know. I'm a little bit older now. Certain things I forget. Certain things I forget. But when has he dropped off the pound for pound list? Let's go over here to Boxing News. Let me see if they updated their pound for pound. The Boxing News they haven't updated their pound for pound because I don't even know who's doing the pound for pound over there. But that's a waste of my time. So let's take a look right here, okay? If you're in the building, please, can you hit that button, activate that button? I appreciate you. Okay. So one thing I noticed about the new ring pound for pound, it doesn't depict the days that fighter has held down a seat on the pound for pound list like the old format. It doesn't show you. But they can change Terence Crawford's picture. You know what I'm saying? And just in case you all, those of you that wasn't Terence Crawford supporters and those of you who were, I just want to also remind you that the Ring Magazine has done an amazing job with their creativity following Terence Crawford's epic legacy 12-round championship showcase to win the super middleweight undisputed. They have did an amazing job, yo. Amazing job. Just in case you haven't been over there. Pound for pound, all weights, number one, Terence Crawford, 42-0, 31 knockouts. 31 knockouts. The ring has done an amazing job with these pictures. Who's next? That's a good question as to who's next. But we'll get back to who's next. Do you believe this is one of the coldest pictures? Do you believe this is one of the coldest frames out there? This is one of the coldest frames out there. Look, and take another look. It's one of the coldest frames out there, yo. Shout out to the ring. This is another cold one. But yes, we understand that Crawford has a surplus of championship hardware to his collection. But this right here is the individuals that he has posted up on his resume, his legendary resume. And look, the faces that he had before couldn't convince the people that Crawford had fought anybody. But if you think this picture right here doesn't sums it up, look at this picture. Even Gamboa gets some spotlight. That is a cold picture. Because if anybody want to say Crawford ain't fought nobody, because he just made him look like nobody, they can always come to when he was resting. He was resting in an oversized chair, which could consider his throne. The only thing that's missing in this picture that Turkey Al-Sheikh, if you're listening, you should have done the crown. Heavy is the head who wear the crown, Turkey. You should have put the crown on him. You should have put the crown on him, bro. That's all I'm saying, Big Turk. You should have put the crown on him. This right here is the frame of all frames, man. You don't need the titles. All you need is the victims. You need the fighters who is on his resume that will forever be talked about when it comes to Crawford. How people had blurry vision when he was coming up through the ranks. They never wanted to acknowledge that boxing always have a format. You have to work your way up. Fighter like Jess Van Rodriguez did a little bit earlier. Fighters like Adrian Broner did a little bit early. There's plenty of fighters that earn their championships early. But when you're talking about continuance, to build and build and build, advance, that's exactly what Terence Bud Crawford did. He's now considered to be Sir Crawford. He's in the Patheon of boxing. He is a legend in the sport of boxing. People don't want to hear it, but they can feel it. I don't care if you try to tune it out. You know it happened. You know all that. What if? That's out the window. This man is 42-0 and can't be. Look, can't be, won't be. Can't be, won't be. He can't be, won't be stopped. This man is in a whole nother world of his own, shouty. Come on, man. They say we need somebody on his resume to talk about. This man went out there and say, I don't need tune-ups. I don't speak that linguistic ramen noodle. I don't speak that linguistic Roman noodles, that linguistic Vienna sausages. I don't that linguistic spam meat. I don't speak that. Crawford said, I don't speak that. See, Bud, he didn't have to tell people he don't take tune-ups. You know what I'm saying? He went up there to 54 and started, and fought for a championship. Other fighters who was criticizing Bud as if it was easy work, they couldn't do it. They need tune-ups. Bud went up to 147 and fought Jeff Horn, champion. Madrimov, champion. Canelo Alvarez, champion. Man, this shit is amazing. It's amazing side of history. It's amazing to say that when this man started his rise, he's low crawling through the trenches of criticism, hate, disdain. He's low crawling, y'all. He's trying his best to get through all the mud and the slut that they keep on putting on his name. He's continuing to go out there and run with every step. He's continuing to say, I'm going to show him. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show him. It's okay. I'm going to show him. He said that Canelo fans would be crying. He's going to send them home crying. And they were. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of Canelo fans was crying. All these videos is coming out with them looking at the fight for the fight party and Canelo getting beat up like that. They was shedding tears. But Crawford kept on low crawling through the trenches, man. Through the dirty trenches of criticism. When they was running smear campaigns on this man's name, he still was low crawling through the trenches of criticism. He's human just like everybody else. But it's amazing how the preparation process was for Team Crawford. Man, superb. The preparation for this, yo. The preparation. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. The P's that you live by. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. This is absolutely amazing. WCS had put it out there. WCS predicts dominating victory slated for 13 September. There was a lot of people hoping that for one time they can silence me when it came to Crawford. They was hoping for one time this would be the day. And I understand you thought you had the right fighter to do that. And I understand there were imposters. Yes, there were imposters on the intermingling in a group of Canelo fans. Those imposters was the former aerosexuals that was over there trying to blend in with Team Canelo. They tried their best, people, to live vicariously through Canelo fans and blend in. But deep down, the heart still burned, y'all. The heart still burned knowing that they was going back to the very place of the T-Mobile massacre. They didn't want to go back there knowing Crawford had one of the worst, damn near brink of homicides there. Come on, man. They didn't want to go back to where Crawford dominated a pound-for-pound fighter out of Texas. That he was somewhat partially considered a boxing Nostradamus. He told Spence he was going to stop him. He bet $1 million. Nobody could believe it because they was busy looking at how big and how small Crawford was. But man, I said WCS predicts a dominating victory slated for 12-13 at Legion Stadium. The evidence is out there. I don't have to say I told you so. But I knew that shit was going on. I didn't give Spence zero chance. And I felt that Canelo hasn't really transitioned or showed us a variety of his skill set. He hasn't showed us pockets that we can say he can pull out. He's been so adaptative or acclimated to the quality of opponents that him and Eddie Reynoso, his coach, had just trained the same all the time, just conditioned him a certain point and pretty much went off what wasn't broke. I'm putting it out there. Canelo and Eddie Reynoso was up there training because the system that they had wasn't broke. You could say Floyd. No, they say Canelo didn't have the experience. So get rid of that. We can say Bivol. He moved up to a higher weight class and he got beat. But they, at this point in their career, became content. Reynoso and Canelo became content. Why? Because regardless of who he beat or who he stepped in there with, regardless of how the fans looked at him, he's still going to get paid. He's still going to get paid. Canelo didn't care about the small things. He knew that check was going to be big. So he didn't give a damn about the small, change, the pennies, the nickels, the dimes. Canelo was messing with the soft money. Canelo was looking at the commas. His paychecks was different. That might have been one of the reasons, their complacency, as to why they went in here believing that the mad scientist Bomac and Crawford could not beat them. Canelo did the same hook to the body that you've seen him do countless times before. Why would you sit up here and know that Crawford's depth has not quite been exposed? And it's a lot of things you all haven't seen yet. Why would Reynoso and Canelo go about entering the ring, answering the bell, and executing a plan? It's almost like they didn't have a plan to go in there and beat Sir Crawford. They didn't have a plan, yo. Reynoso felt like Canelo's experience would get him through. Reynoso felt like Canelo, having fought who he fought, they slipped up just like a lot of other people. They just felt like, oh, I fought everybody. That's what Canelo, I fought everybody. And yes, he has fought some names, but there has been some questionable wins, right? There has been some questionable wins there. But see, when it came to Crawford and the wins that they questioned, their question mark was always pliable when they was trying to torque it down with their bias and say, oh, he ain't fought nobody. Oh yeah, he might have got a championship from that guy. He ain't nobody. Oh, he might have fought Julius Nugget. He ain't nobody. Look at his record after he fought. But he was undefeated when Crawford beat him. Jeff Horn was undefeated when Crawford beat him. Madrimov was undefeated when Crawford beat him. Canelo Alvarez was on a multi-fight win streak when a fighter 2 divisions below, where everybody was screaming 14, 14, 14, 14. No, you was one off. You should have been thinking about the 13, 13, 13. You was busy worrying about the 14, 14, 14. Crawford put out the pick that he was up at 186, and fight fans, his naysayers lost their goddamn mind, y'all. Oh my God. He's putting on so much weight. He's going to be so sluggish. Damn. He didn't hear about the turtle-itis. He didn't know Eminem was talking about him. My arms are heavy. My legs are heavier. My mind is unsteady. You got to move when Canelo hit you. They was thinking that 14 pounds from 54 to 68 was unachievable. All because that black man from Omaha, Nebraska was the one who was set to face Canelo Alvarez. All the freaking boxers, all the so-called experts, some was saying that Crawford was going to get obliterated. You know what I'm saying? They was pretty content that Crawford didn't have a chance. Once again, they was focused on the wrong number. They was talking about 14, 14, 14, but it was 13, 13, 13. You know what I'm saying? And then add another three division. See, they was focused on the wrong number. How, when WCS was trying to tell them, like, it's not that difficult to pack on the right amount of muscle when you have a year to do it, and then cut down and still maintain muscle. That means he delegated his money the correct way. He paid for the nutritionist. He paid for the expertise to make sure he put on the weight properly. He already had a freaking a legendary team. He had the resources there. So whatever they was doing behind closed doors, once again, we seen it play out in the ring, man. Shout out to Team Crawford for the unity, the camaraderie ship. That's what I like. Shout out to Team Crawford for the camaraderie, the esprit de corps, knowing that they on the championship stage once again. Ain't nothing new to them. Bomac said one of the most legendary lines to DJ, Derrick James. He said, we've been here already. We've been here already. Sit back and watch how we do it. It's not the verbatim, but he said, sit back and we'll show you how to do it. That's with Derrick James already having Jermell Charlo as an undisputed champion because he knew Charlo wasn't in that camp like that. But he was like, but Crawford, it ain't no question. We've been there, done that for Undisputed. Sit back and watch how we do it again. We about to take his belts too. Your fighter, the one that you had since 2015 or something like that. We about to take his belts. And it went down as such. Amazing compilation. Amazing, yo. When you add up the flight hours that Bud has put in, elevating from division to division to division, he is a 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed, a plethora of accolades. His hardware goes and goes and goes, y'all. He has once again shut down another fan base that act like they didn't even put up a fight, man. Let me get to what a lot of people missed about Desperado. How Sir Crawford came in there with the guitar in the right hand. Y'all missed that, yo. Were you born when Antonio Banderas was avenging the death of his lover, his woman? Let me read a little bit. Okay? Let me read a little bit because it went over your head. Desperado. Robert Rodriguez, 1995. A lot of you weren't born back then. 1995 action-packed sequel to El Mariachi is more than just a visual, stunning, and adrenaline-fueled film. While its surface appeal lies in its stylized violence, romantic tension, and unforgettable imagery, a deeper analysis reveals a complex narrative employing themes of revenge, identity, loss, and the nature of violence. The film uses symbolic imagery, character development, and a distinct stylistic approach to convey its underlying meaning. Understanding these elements provide a richer appreciation for the film and its lasting impact. Let's talk about it. The most immediate and arguably most apparent theme is revenge. El Mariachi, played by Antonio Banderas, is driven by a burning desire to avenge the death of his lover, his mentor, and the destruction of his life by the ruthless drug lord Bucho. This pursuit of vengeance consumes him, shaping his actions and defining his identity. However, the film subtly questions the true value of revenge. Does achieving it truly bring closure or peace, or does it merely perpetuate the cycle of violence? Let's just talk about the pursuit of vengeance. Should Crawford have any liability in his pursuit of vengeance? Is he in his absolute right to avenge all the criticism? Absolutely. You mother effing right. That's when it comes down to what the compassion goes out to Canelo for being who he is. I could care less. I don't dislike Canelo Alvarez personally. I'm telling you, I could care less about in a time where we should be maximizing Sir Crawford's win and what he's been able to do to the sport of boxing. Not only just proving his naysayers wrong, but his achievements, yo. His achievements is understandably going to be considered one of the best ever to do it. His achievements will always be in a halo. They will always be highlighted. They will always be illuminated. Sir Crawford's name in the Pantheon of boxing will always be illuminated. They will always speak highly of this man because so many people doubted him even after Spence that he had to go in there and disperse of the man himself. He had to throw that cinnamon bun in the oven and cook them. And cook them. They say, does achieving it truly bring closure or peace, or does it merely perpetuate the cycle of violence? Listen, I know for Crawford, and I'm not speaking for him, but for Sir Crawford, boxing royalty, hell yeah, it brought some closure. We live in a world of fertility. Everybody's trying to birth something that no one else has done. And Crawford has done that. Even though Crawford has put on the left and right glove like his compeers, Crawford has put on boxer shoes, trunks. He's even did ring walk after ring walk after ring walk. Countless of repetitions with his team in the gym. Okay? Countless. That's what Crawford has done. He's been a part of a format for a long time. But is it going to bring closure based off him showing the people once again September 13th? I don't know what it's going to bring, but he holds no liability to how he delegated his vengeance. The pursuit of his vengeance to go out here and prove the naysayers wrong. He holds no liability. That's exactly what Crawford was supposed to do. He wasn't supposed to tiptoe. He wasn't supposed to half step. He wasn't supposed to go in there and then say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna start off slow like they say I do, and then I'm gonna start orthodox in that. I'm gonna switch to southpaw, and I'm gonna do this and do it." No, he went in there and got the business. He started working behind the jab. He started establishing momentum right from the opening bell. Brilliant. Get right down to it. You remember if you was born back then, ain't no half stepping, ain't no half stepping. Crawford didn't come in there half stepping. The man walked to the ring with a goddamn guitar case, and it went over a lot of people's head. They just say, "Oh, he got the he do Archie, the freaking guitar." It went over the head. The fertility of vengeance for Crawford is a freaking amazing. For that man to tell Canelo's fan base that he was gonna leave, he was gonna make them cry. They're gonna leave here crying. Was absolutely brilliant. It goes on to say the Desperado suggests that the vengeance is a double-edged sword. While El Mariachi initially believes that killing Bucho will bring him solace, the reality is far more complicated. The violence he perpetuates, while fueled by justifiable anger, only leads to more bloodshed and suffering. I agree. When we talk about the boxing, it's only going to lead to more criticism, more haterism. Y'all don't agree? It's only going to lead to more criticism, haterism. It's never going to clear up. That's why they don't want to come over here. I'm still taking it light because it's just, we're only, maybe about 48 hours, 72 hours removed from September 13th. I'm taking it easy. I'm not even going in on the Canelo fans yet, like I did the Spence fans. You know what I mean? But did Crawford perpetuate any type of excessive violence during the fight? Was he the one that tried to headbutt Canelo first? Was he the one trying to lift Canelo off his feet? Because a knockdown is signified or acknowledged as any part of your body other than the soles of your feet that touch the canvas. What was Canelo trying to do? Did he think that just because Nick Khan, the WWE, this was all in association? Did he think that he was going to supposed to pick, Crawford out like it was a battle royal or something, and Crawford's supposed to go over the top rope? What was going on in Canelo's head of frustration? I don't like it. I don't like that you're supposed to be the top of the chain, but yet you were so frustrated that you tried to pick Crawford up after we had warned you. WCS had warned you, Canelo. The man knows how to wrestle. And even then, him taking the headbutt, because to me, that was intentional. Forget everything else. That headbutt was intentional. If Canelo could have put a cut on Crawford's head, but see, when you bleed greatness, you don't get what every other fighter would have got. See, other fighters might have got cut and they start bleeding profusely. But when you're in there with greatness and you anointed and you are boxing royalty and the gods have spoken, but people just don't want to see how bright you was shining, you get that headbutt and your armor is so thick, you continue to fight. And the one that's frustrated still is Canelo Alvarez, because he was getting frustrated. He wanted to try to open up a cut, anything to get the advantage, bro. Anything, and it didn't work. It seemed like all that repetitive recycling of combinations that Canelo, he did some slick shit in there, a couple of rounds, but he was just too predictable for a fighter with the IQ of Crawford, whose game plan was to counter Canelo immediately. And some of those redundant exchanges that we seen Canelo execute. Yes, redundant. And Bud made him absolutely cash. He made him pay for that shit. Bud was deducting, withdrawing Canelo's will by his countering ability. Very functional, yo. Beautiful work. Yo. Shout out to his team, yo. Even though he was the one that was in that fight, man. It seemed like every counter shot that Crawford was hitting Canelo with was a dart to Canelo's heart. It's almost like Crawford kept on putting little pinholes in Canelo, and he was like, what's wrong with me? Damn, Eddie. You didn't say Crawford was just freaking accurate and fast. Damn. He's sapping my energy. Hey, look, Canelo at one point in time, he probably thought that his water bottle had some type of goddamn kryptonite in that bitch. Something. Canelo started to get he started talking to himself. Canelo was trying to contemplate on whether he was gonna exit stage right. He was thinking about, should I quit? No, WCS did a live on that, and he put you up there at no mas. It seems like Canelo was looking for a no mas moment. Let me see. If all, the money I got, vice what Roberto Duran had to go through back then. Let me see. He assessing the situation. I feel that I'm still in a better position than Roberto, and I might get a little criticism for a year or two, but then come back and fight, William Skull in a rematch and redeem myself. Yeah, I'm still good. He was contemplating. He was having a self-reflection. He thought about walking. When Crawford kept tapping in, as they call it, when Crawford was acting like he was working for AT&T and reaching out and touching Canelo, ping, 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 ping. When you make those calls and you ping to the distant end to get that return, that's what Crawford was doing. He was acting like he was a AT&T telemarketer. He was reaching out and providing service. It just didn't work all that well with Canelo, though. I already got service. No, we're giving you a new service. The bandwidth is different. We're providing you with more bandwidth and more fast downloads, because I'm popping you every time in this counter. It seems like your downloads are slow. What are you working with? 2.5 megabytes? I mean, we're in the gigabytes right now. We with the G-bits. It seemed like you're with the megabytes. I'm trying to help you out so it can be a fair fight. But right now, I'm just too easy. It's just too easy to ping you with these counter shots. Do you want to upgrade the service? I mean, you got the money. Okay, it's not going to be that much of an upcharge per month, but you have the money. What do you say? Come on, guy. We'll throw in 2 free phones. Okay, we'll throw in 2 free phones. What you think? No, let me get with Eddie. Let me get with Eddie. Okay. All Team Crawford, all but Sir Crawford was trying to do is eliminate the struggle. All he was trying to do is be fair. That's all. Let's keep reading. He becomes trapped in a world where violence is the only language spoken. I can visualize Crawford for the longest time being trapped in a world where violence, I'm talking about verbal violence, because Crawford is the one delegating the physical violence, but these cowards that was speaking on his name, these fighters who was denigrating him in the media. He becomes trapped in a world where violence is the only language spoken, a world that ultimately corrodes his soul. Do you think the criticism was beginning to corrode Crawford? No. Some human beings in life that are never a fan favorite, you cannot get to them like that. You cannot bypass the firewalls that they have. They're psychological firewalls. It's just too strong. You feel me? It's just too strong. It's too strong, y'all. For real. It goes on to say, the film asks, can true healing and justice be found through violent retribution? Or does vengeance simply beget more violence, leaving only emptiness in its wake? Well, I tell you, when it comes to boxing, it absolutely kind of works both sides of the coin. There can be justice through violent retribution. The justice for Crawford was him being paid, him being in a sanctioned fight, him doing everything that says it's legal for him to go in there and delegate this violence, inflict this pain on Canelo. And he was inflicting pain on Canelo. One point in time, it just seems like he had Canelo in there doing the salsa, the merengue. It didn't even see like Ricky Martin came out. Living la vida loca. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they was trying anything and everything that night. Bud Crawford took the crowd noise away early. How can one man be so dangerous? Huh? How can one man be so dangerous to take away the crowd noise when it's damn near more Mexican fight fans there than blacks? I could tell you that. Than whites. Can you understand? Vegas is a part of history again, but that in Allegiant Stadium, a football stadium, that's history. Can you understand how one man can beat up 2 unified champions in one night? Just outside 2.5 years? Have you ever seen one man, a professional fighter? Have you seen anyone to the stature of Bud Crawford elevate himself to royalty? Where he went in there and beat up a fighter that they said he couldn't do, he couldn't beat. He didn't have the strength, he didn't have the power, he didn't have the size, and he was potentially going to get knocked out. Have you seen someone go in there and fight the man that once upon a time, you know what I'm saying? As the story goes, once upon a time, he was at the top. He was acknowledged, adorned as the face of boxing. And this is one plus that Canelo has, even in his loss to Crawford, is that he'll still get paid millions. So for us on the side of Team Crawford, we can't think about Canelo's money because Canelo's going to get that money regardless. But what I love about it is that Team Crawford and Sir Crawford himself goes down in boxing history as a fighter that stepped up 2 weight divisions with only one fight. One fight now. 154. Moved up from 47 to 54. Had one fight. 0 fights in 168. And beat the undisputed world champion in that division. Clear, concise, and straight to the point. But you know the messed up part about it? They wanted this to be the scorecard. Can you believe? Can you even fathom if the scorecards would have came back or draw that night? Do you understand that on the side of Team Crawford, us having a fish fry and damn near throwing up all sorts of seafood? Days and days of celebratory praise, right? Because he stopped Spence. But we knew Canelo was going to be different because who stopped Canelo? Huh? Who stopped Canelo? We don't know who stopped Canelo. We haven't seen it. So heading to this fight, oh my God, there was a lot of open books. It was a lot of bookmarks. It was a lot of folded pages. It was a lot of, I don't want to see how this next chapter is going to be written. I don't want to see it. If it ain't going to have Canelo winning, I don't want to read it. I mean, we went in here with a lot of open-ended doubt, as if Crawford could stop Canelo, not win, stop him. I knew he could beat Canelo, but can he knock him out? Could he stop him? But looking at these scorecards right here, they would have loved for that shit to come back of 114, 114. Oh my goodness. Woo, you would have talked about running through the streets happy. They would have been sipping and getting drunk off tequila, margarita. You know, look, gin, anything, any clear type, man, they would have been celebrating if Canelo would have went to a draw with Crawford. Why? Because Crawford would have had a draw on his record. You know what I'm saying? Crawford would have had a draw on his record. Furthermore, the naysayers and the haters would have been out here doing what they do best. You know what they would have been doing? Let me show you something right quick. Let me show my pettiness. I say, let me show you my pettiness. Because I want to let you know how petty I could be. Don't be mad at me. Because it's a petty week. Let me show you something right quick. Okay. Let me show you something right quick, y'all. Let me show you something. Okay. For those of you that's in the building, I appreciate you standing by and being strong. You know, because I know some have just rolled by and they really don't want to hear me talking about the reality, the results, and what they can't change. So since they can't change it, I'm going to continue to talk in the Chavo. I'm going to continue my Chavo, my celebration. Look at this right here, though. Look at this right here. Look at this. The Canelo fans would have been absolutely elated to have Crawford's right side. Look at the right side of that boxing legend. Look at that shit now. If you have been a part of the sport for this long, look at this. Look how clean the right side. It's like a SS on goddamn 26s, 30s, cruising down the motherfucking highway. You know what I'm saying? Got them 30s up in the fender well, just cruising. Look at this. Look at this, Shotty. Look. I want to give a big shout out to C-Dub. for the $5 in the super chat. It's always appreciated, C-Dub, for supporting the channel. Shout out to my guy Haynes Legacy for supporting the channel. Always. With the 5-piece on deck. You know what I'm saying? You already know, man. One love to you and the fam. Thanks for always supporting the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Both online and offline. You know what I'm saying? You already know. But salute to y'all. Terence Crawford's right side of his resume has 0. When I say 0, it's 0 with a red background and the font is white. And then you move over one more to the far end. You have like a baby blue, sky blue background with a white font. He has 0 draws. 0. 0, I tell you. Let's look at something else. Because we have to go through this. We have to walk this road, bro. It's only necessary that we do this. Let me show you something else about this guy. Okay? Okay? Let me get up out of here. Let me show you something right quick. Okay? Because we're talking about history. We're talking about a legend. We're talking about when you acknowledge, Sir Crawford's name, you put legend with it. Let's look at this. He has 42 bouts with a knockout percentage of 73.81%. Southpaw 5'9" with a 75-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? Long reach for somebody that's 5'9" like that. His alias, nothing fancy, Bud. Okay? Okay. Look at here. Look at here. I had to remind. Look here. September 13. Look who on that list on his resume. Look at the top. At the top. No. Stop frowning up now. Look at the very top right here. At 168-pound super middleweight limit. Both fighters weighed in at 167.5, but yet they was talking about 14. That's all they was talking about. Let's look at this right here. When you're talking about Crawford knowing that he was behind enemy lines. Him and his team knew it. Tim Cheatham, 115 to 113. How, Sway? They don't have the answers. Max DeLuca, 115, 130. How? Come on, man. How many of them rounds did you donate? This wasn't a GoFundMe motherfucking fight at Allegiant Stadium. Steve Weisfeld, 116, 112. Y'all, the first boxing bout, happened to be a championship showcase. Let's go over here. This is historical. Now. Nevada Athletic Commission. Let's go down here to this right here. Boy, I've been hearing some crazy numbers about Netflix. I remember they used to talk about, hey, Sir Crawford. Hey, Sir Crawford, this you. You remember they used to talk about how you don't sell? Sir Crawford, please, sir. Can you come over here just briefly? You remember when they say how you was moving funny and you was a bad businessman and you couldn't sell nothing? You're just bad overall for boxing. You understand that, Sir Crawford? Yeah. Continue to eat your grapes and crackers. Go ahead. Hey, get over there. He wants some goddamn cheese too. Just let me know when you're ready for the next question. Do you remember that, y'all? When they saying Crawford was bad for business? He's moving funny. Do you remember the people that was acting as if they were signing Crawford's checks? Netflix. I heard this fight did incredible numbers of viewership. Incredible, yo. Incredible numbers. And this guy right here, 5 stars, was a part of that. Look. Let's take a walk down memory lane, baby. because that's what I want to do. I want to take a walk down memory lane because boxing will never ever be the same. Now talk to him, it will never ever be the same, baby, because for the next month or two, WCS is gonna be petty. Oh, 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 I'm gonna be petty, petty as I wanna be. I say one more again, I'm gonna be petty because I wanna be. Now, Madrimov, Errol Spence Jr., David Avanesian, Sean Porter. Hey, I'm doing a roll call if you don't know. That's what you do for all the ones who are fallen. You give a roll call in the military. That's how they do it. Kell Brook, Igis Kavalauskas, Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez Jr., Jeff Horn, Julius Ndongo, Felix Diaz, John Molina Jr., Victor Postal, Henry Lundy, Jerry John, Thomas Delorme, Raimondo Beltran, Yuyukis Gamboa, Ricky Burns, Andrei Klimov, Alejandro Sanabria, Breedis Prescott, Sitness Securia, Hardy Paredes, David Rodella, Andre Gores, Angel Rios, Derek Campos, Anthony Mora, Ron Board, Marty Robbins, Corey Somerville, Steve Marquez, Miguel Delgado, Lucas Rodas, Travis Hartman, Michael Williams, Aaron Anderson, Damon Antoine, Filiberto Nito, Brian Commons. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just given you a roll call of all the fighters who have tried but died. All the ones who attempted to challenge Sir Crawford have been left in wake. Because why? When you look up here, his numbers that's greened up, it's 42 victories, 0 defeats, and 0 draws. 31 coming by way of knockout. Some fights to this magnitude, you would love to see a knockout. But we didn't need a knockout. Why? Because this was one of those subliminals. It's almost like he knocked out Canelo. Because the punches that he was landing and how Crawford was able to go about dominating, execution, strategy, adjustments. I mean, it was very superbly done. Very meticulous thought process. They worked on the countering. Look how he held himself accountable with keeping his hands up. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. If you're getting mad because I'm saying Sir Crawford, so be it. There's nothing you can do about the results of September 13th. It's official. He is victorious. He is victorious. And you know what even more that I like about September 13th is there wasn't any other talk about fighters that they was always trying to massage into Crawford's little bubble. You know what I'm saying? His clout. You know what I'm saying? He had this damn illumination, this halo when he was walking on fight week that I didn't hear other fighters' names coming up until after he beat Canelo. So pretty much he was glowing. You know what I'm saying? Showing off. He was glowing. And there was no other fighter's name that can pretty much be massaged into Crawford's moment. It was all his own. And that was great. That was great right there. Let me take this down. Okay. Let me take this down. Let me go over to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Once again, shout out to my guy Haynes Legacy for the 5-piece on deck. You know what I mean, man? I appreciate you, dog. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Hey, GQ, stop it. Come on, GQ. Come on. Look, man. I understand that Shakur is a 3-division unified champion. I understand that. But just like they did Crawford, his resume, you know what I'm saying? I agree. I agree. With your assessment on Bam Rodriguez. I agree with that. But Shakur has to get a fight. I know they've been talking about him. He has to get a fight regardless. You know what I'm saying? But you understand that the Ring Magazine's pound for pound list is under a new regime. So the editing process and what they talk about behind closed doors, we don't know. We don't know the criteria they're looking for. We don't know what the sidebar conversations consist of. We don't know if it's a little bit of favoritism with those handshakes that's under the table that nobody can see. We don't know how that whole process go. We don't know how the voting is all in favor. We don't know who's BS and who's serious. That's all I'm saying, man. I agree, man. Shout out Neezy in the building. What's good with it, Neezy? King on deck in the building. What's good? Carlos on deck. Victor on deck. What's good? Real on deck. Salute. And the new. Absolutely. And the new. See, you never heard me say and the new. Anybody who listened to me after this fight, I haven't mentioned that and the new, because I always felt like, heading to this fight, Crawford's going to go in there, and I said he had better IQ. He has higher IQ, and it turned out he had higher IQ than Canelo. He had higher IQ, whether people are willing to admit it or not. He had higher IQ, bro. Like God blessed us with a lot of psychological traits, man. You know what I'm saying? We can make decisions in certain ways, whether they're good or bad. But also, what he did bless us with is selective amnesia, knowing how to lie. And that's what we was blessed with too. Listening to something and then make a spare of the moment adjustment on sending that selection through the synapses region and back and say, no, Crawford, I didn't see all that you was doing. I mean, it allows you to be an absolute liar. And it also allows you to be able to tell the truth and keep it a hundo. You know what I'm saying? They thought the same old waiting for that one power punch was going to be enough. No combinations from Canelo. Nah, no combinations, bro. He wanted to hook to the body like this was Hammy McGill and Edgar Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. These fighters have to step it up. Come on, man. Ain't nobody touching Crawford. It don't matter who they fight. I mean, we got a Nui over there fighting who I ain't gonna mention no names because they don't deserve to be in the conversation with Crawford, yo. Crawford beat Canelo. Bivol beat Canelo at 175. He didn't get the 168 belts. Bivol didn't have to move up divisions to fight Canelo. Canelo came up to him one division, didn't get it done. Crawford moved up 2, 3, whatever you want to say. Uno, dos, tres. Since the fight has I've been seeing many posts on who is better fighter between Mayweather and Crawford. What's your opinion? When you talk about who is the better fighter or who has the better resume, or who would I put as, because two different eras. As you see in Crawford, Crawford say, I'm the best in my era, he's the best in his era, right? But when it comes down to taking risk and how he dominated opponents that's supposed to be, those tough opponents, people are going to say, yeah, Floyd had his moments with Castillo, Chico Morales. Diego Corrales. It was just certain fighters, even his first fight when he won his championship, we can't include Manny Pacquiao in there. It's just they're going to always look at resume and they're going to say, oh, Floyd had a better resume, when it comes to namesake. But when it comes to achievements, I give Terence Crawford over Floyd Mayweather. I give Terence Crawford achievements over Floyd. Yeah, he may have the pay-per-view back then when pay-per-view, you was able to get the pay-per-view and the numbers was up there. And he can brag about having some of the top pay-per-view. And I've even bragged about that. When it comes down to the paperwork, though, when you talk about the paperwork is different. The paperwork is different, yo. I put Bud Crawford over Mayweather. Now, depending on what part, I don't like doing this. Okay, who will win? It depends on who's who. Floyd is older than Crawford. Yo. So I really can't tell you when they was gonna fight. I don't know. Because people say, oh, money is pretty and all. Man, come on, man. It's one Sir Crawford, goddammit. It's one Sir Crawford. He didn't go through a pretty Crawford, this Crawford, Omaha Crawford, parachute Crawford, SEAL Team Crawford, volleyball Crawford. I mean, come on, man. You get one raw, uncut, edgy, freaking Omaha monster. Appreciate that, Haynes. You know what it is, man. Y'all donate to the channel, preferably Cash App. Well, my Cash App ain't up there, but I'll put it up there, though. In case y'all want to donate, it's all good. But, just a guy in the building. What's good, man? He said, y'all donate to the channel, preferably Cash Out. I read that. W says get 100% of the proceeds. I appreciate you, man. Real one. True friend right there. I appreciate you, bro. Terence Bud, Antonio Banderas, Crawford. Yeah, man. It went over their head, didn't it? It went over their head. They didn't quite get it, bro. They didn't quite get it. That was a cold movie. Y'all need to check it out on Netflix if you got it. I mean, Canelo fans probably don't want to go nowhere near Antonio Banderas, Desperado, because they're going to start crying. You know what I'm saying? That shit going to have you laughing and shit. And WCS, I just want to tell you something serious, man. Just be serious for 1 minute, man. You're going overboard with this Canelo. No, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it. Canelo always does when he gets frustrated. The man wanted to pick Bud up over the top rope and eliminate him. He wanted to hope that this was a B-hop moment. He wanted something crazy to happen where fighters falling outside the rope and hit their head on the ground and the fight's over. Look, he wanted to be able to collect the data that was already going on and live to fight another day. Real talk. No, man, Crawford's just too damn tough. They started making excuses today saying Canelo washed. His body is limited now. And Madrimov won and only landed 21% on Canelo. BG, I don't think what Bud smoked Canelo. I don't believe that we're actually motivated enough, right, to hold free counseling sessions for these Canelo fans. I expected more. I'm gonna be honest. I expected so much more, and they just stayed in the shadows, man. You Canelo fans disappointed me so bad, yo. I knew y'all was coming out the woodworks before the fight, but y'all said, shh, shh, shh. We don't want them. We over here in the shadows. Y'all did somewhat the same thing as the aerosexuals. Y'all tried to have this covert freaking mission, and you was gonna show up, and then you thought Canelo was gonna win, so you're gonna come out, yeah, yeah, Viva la Mexico. I mean, you would have had every right to do that. But why not just go in it with that energy? Let social media know loud and clear. Be vociferous about it, boisterous about it. But no, y'all was like, shh, shh, shh. You hear that? There's a lot of fight fans coming. It's the Crawford supporters. Shh, shh, shh. They don't know we here in these numbers. They don't know. I mean, come on, man. Come on. They can make all the excuses they want, man. Listen, Buzzmo Canelo, he did get washed. He did get washed. You know, he did. Alphabet soup, he got washed. Spoon feed, he got washed. AB on deck, what it do, man? Boogie on deck, what's good? He said, remember when it was saying he's on the wrong side of the street because they were on the other side of the street holding their purses. He's the GOAT. Yeah, man. Talk to him. Let it be known loud and clear. No hesitation, no stuttering, no ducking, no dodging. Pound for pound, number one. You can't do nothing about it. Rumble, young man, rumble. Hit the haters on the chin and make them stumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Another fan base down for the tumble. Tumble, tumble, tumble. We don't know how to lose over here, dog. All we do is win. All we do is win. Hey man, stop it, dog. Stop. Man, come back, man. Why you always being petty, dog? They think Mexican Monster Boots can from see, Neezy. See, my day was going fine, right? It's Tuesday, Neezy. You know we good, man. But those two, they do not and should not and will not share this momentous occasion that Crawford has earned. They will not share it. Boots, Ennis, they call him. No. I like Benavidez. I'm not gonna lie. I like Benavidez. I have no qualms with Benavidez. But if there's any type of, gripe that I have with Benavidez, is I believe that he should fight a common opponent in Canelo Alvarez. That's all. That's what I think. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he should fight a common opponent in Canelo Alvarez. He should fight. Look, just like they said about Bud. When Bud came to 47, they told him to get a belt. That's the same shit Keith Thurman told Errol Spence. And then it should trickle down, right? So when it comes down to Benavidez, who's been, a champion, an interim. Isn't he an interim at 175? No knock on Benavidez. I just think that he was done wrong at 168. But to say that you want him now to cut weight down to 168 is unfair. It's unfair to Crawford. That's the only person it's unfair to, because Benavidez knows if he wants Crawford, he will have to come down to 68. And that wouldn't be fair to a guy who has always been big his life. It wouldn't give Crawford any more credit to his boxing FICO. You know what I'm saying? Going in there, boxing circles around Benavidez and making him look crazy. Even, when Crawford has moments like David Morrell had with Benavidez, it's not going to be pretty. Not the hand speed that I seen, not the movement I seen, not him punching the clock in and out of fighting in the pocket. Not what I seen, yo. He won't get no credit for beating David Benavidez because they're going to say he came down from 175 and he was weight drained. Crawford went into this Canelo fight with no weight clause, no weight restrictions, no rehydration clause. They went in there like Bo Max said, it is what it is. Let's see what we got. Come on, man. That's some real shit. Come on. That's some real shit. Shout out to my boy Carlos Jackson, Dynamite in the building. What it do, brother? Appreciate you pulling up there, Carlos. Salute to you. Hope everything is going well, man, with the training and all that. For sure. ATL Zone in the building, man. Good to see you on deck. I'm loving all the Petite's nasty work, brother nasty work, to all the haters WCS have put in that work. I appreciate it, man. And you know, it's petty time all day, every day. It's just super petty. It's nothing wrong with petty. You know, so why are people trying to act like petty is dangerous? Petty is just reminding you all that when you had all the freedom of speech going on, you living in a free world, freedom of speech, and you had the freedom to speak these biased ass narratives. Don't get mad at me, man. Stop. Don't get mad at me. No, you're not gonna do that, bro. It's up to me to remind you that a lot of you believe that your word was scripture. You believe that you had already written it. And all you had to do was wait till the decision became official so you can revisit where you had put the bookmark at. Hey, this is what I said. Everybody's like, this is what I said. I said it was going to happen. I said it. No. See, what you didn't understand is that you was attempting to write a chapter on a fighter that isn't normal. Sir Crawford isn't normal. He's a different type of human being. So you was trying to write a scripture as if you did everybody else that was in the boxing Bible. And you underestimated who Sir Crawford truly was. Now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Jerron, the eye test Ennis. Yeah, that's a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's a good one. AB Jamal Neezy respectfully Boots has no place in this doubt. Neezy knows that, man. Come on. Neezy knows better than that, but he may just be bored. That's all. He must be just bored and celebration. You know how you can get intoxicated off, celebrating? That might be the case. I'm gonna give an excuse for Neezy, man. You know what I'm saying? When all you do is win. I mean, sometimes you get a little complacent, right, Neezy? Sometimes you get a little complacent, dog. Bud is the greatest fighter of all time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's one of the greatest, no doubt about it. He's up there. I put Bud with his achievements and everything, man. He got to be top 3. He got to be top 3, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people are going to say resume, and then Bud is undefeated. But see, you had one fighter that was talking about Rocky Marciano, 49-0. But yeah, when they speak of Rocky Marciano, they don't even put him in his top. They top 5 or top 10. What's the purpose of always highlighting his undefeated record as a heavyweight, but you're not going to put him in the top 10 of greats all time? And then you have to really grade how he was getting those wins and the punishment. They talk about punishment everywhere else, Marciano used to get lit up. He used to get lit up. He was tough. He had that right hand, Susie Q, man. Hey. Terence, the A-side destroyer Crawford. The A-side destroyer. What? Once upon a time, Canelo was champion. That's what I'm talking about. All thespians, wordsmiths, please adorn the chat. Oh, man, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. I'm not even going to mention it. We're talking about the celebratory, the celebratory parade. I can't believe, I can't even imagine what the parade is going to be like. But also, seeing that ring that's a 1-of-1, that piece of jewelry that Bud had with the stadium, Allegiant Stadium, being it was the first boxing match ever. It's just a lot of history that I'm glad is on the side of Sir Crawford. Sir Crawford is a legend. Sir Crawford is a legend, and he's boxing royalty. I know. I've heard people already say, WCS, he's a D rider. He's this, that, and the other. See, you're saying that because once again, you was hoping Canelo shut down Crawford and blemish the right side of his boxing ledger. It just didn't happen. Okay. Calm your punk ass down. Calm down. Listen to all the haters. Just a word of advice. If you're at work causing people discontent because you're being selfish, because you lost money September 13th, and now you're at work working all that overtime. It's not anybody else's fault but yours. You need to work that overtime. Ask them, can they pay you extra to take the trash out? Because all those narratives that y'all was pushing before the fight, that shit was trash. So you deserve to do some community service. Whether they pay you or not, goddamn, take the trash out and reminisce next to the dumpster. That's the shit you was talking. Reminisce your ass next to the dumpster with the goddamn remaining flies that's in there, the larvae, and all that other shit. Because what you ain't gonna do is think that you can change the results. September 13th. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. I'm out. Peace.